Okay, there we go. Let's make sure this will still keep going with the phone locked. Looks like it will. We're good to go. Welcome to the Unwashed Asses, episode don't know. Who gives a shit? Recorded Thursday, March 15th, 2018. 2 days out from St. Patty's Day. Yippity doo dah. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not in a good mood right now. Not feeling it. I know I'm getting sick. I got the scratchy throat and the sickly tasting, snot. So that's fun. That's gonna be a treat because that's all I need right now. Get sick. Oh, I can actually hear it now. There's a slight rattle or rasp in my sinuses. I need to get some prescription sunglasses because it's getting bright out. So we're coming out of the dark days of winter into the glorious sunny days of spring and summer. It's fucking bright, and I've got to wear glasses so I can see. I can drive well enough, but still, I'd like to be able to see, like what's on the signs with a pair of sunglasses. But I don't know. I'll have to look into that, see if they're expensive or not, because it'd be nice to have a pair. Seeing how, I drive around for the bulk of my job. No, I'm worn out, tired, drained, feeling like I've got no life in me. And I don't know if it's right to complain or not, because, I work average, 50 plus hours a week. Like today I'm doing a 15-hour shift, but it's like I wake up. Why am I turning right? It's a roundabout that goes left. But I wake up and take a shower, get ready, go to work. I'm at work by 8 every day. So it's usually, involves a half-hour drive time, so I leave at 7:30. Wake up at 6, in and out of sleep until about 7, then get up, get dressed, do the whole rigmarole. Work until 7 at the earliest. Get home by 7:30, 8, depending where I'm at, how late I actually get done. Eat dinner, and then I'm usually trying to fight off going to sleep at 9 o'clock. And I've really been working, especially this time change. It fucked me up something fierce. Let's turn the heat down. And turn it on my face. Alright, there we go. So, yeah, it's been really, really rough with the time shift. And so I've been trying not to go to sleep right at 9 o'clock. And it's been really difficult. Trying to be productive and get shit done. But usually I'm in bed by 9:30, 10 against my own volition. I'd like to be up till 11 at least. Stay up till 11, wake up at 6, get a solid 7 hours in. But that's my Sunday through Wednesday. Thursday, I don't have to be up as early. I have to be at work at 10, but it's a 40-minute drive. So, work until, 5. Go pick up my kid, unless it's the weekends that I don't have my kid. And I can put some extra hours in, earn a little extra income. Because this second job don't pay shit. It doesn't pay anything, but I still need it. So, like this week, for example, I'm going to get done around 12:30, 1 a.m. maybe. Drive 40 minutes home, try not to die on the way. Hopefully I do, but it's like I'm not going to steer towards that bridge, but I'm not necessarily going to avoid that oncoming semi. Wake up and then Friday, head over to buddy's house and get some schoolwork done. Saturday, that's appearing to be my only real day off at the moment. Because Friday night we got a stream, And I know it's not really a stream. We're not getting anything out of it. We don't have viewers even, but, you know, I still take it semi-seriously where I try to, you know, have soundboard running and worry about the stream and the quality and all that shit. And then uploading to YouTube and all that fun stuff after the fact. Now, that is another thing that's been irking me. Well, before we get into that, but no, I'm tired. I want like a solid, you know, like first job. I'm supposed to have a 3-day weekend every weekend. Because I have to have this second job to pay my fucking bills. It's like, just drained, worn out. And I know there's other people out there, oh yeah, I work 2 jobs as well. I work 3. You hear me bitching? It's like, I get it, I'm bitching. I shouldn't be. You know, if I was smarter or worked harder, I'd be in a better position. Or if I'd found this job earlier, you know, I'd be making more money. But times are hard, especially with child support. Oh, fuck. I don't know, I'm drained. I'm trying to be healthier, but it's hard. It's clearly impacted my sex drive. I have none whatsoever anymore. It's like, sex is a fleeting afterthought. Just want to sleep, really. If I'm not working, all I want to do is sleep. And I feel so bad about it, but it requires so much more effort than to, like, wake up early and work out, or, you know, try to work out when I get home. I gotta figure out something, though, because I'm a fat ass. I gotta lose the weight. If I lose the weight, I'm gonna have more energy, and, you know, sex drive's gonna go back up. Everybody wins. Just, I gotta stop being such a lazy fuck. I've been plugging away at the goals. It's day 26 in our German lessons. Super pumped about that. And then went ahead and started writing again. Writing a little short story for my son. It took a while because I knew I had like several chapters, at least like progress in some of them, but it was scattered all over the place, and I knew I had like a general outline. Just had to find the fucking thing. So the other night went ahead, compiled all that. It felt good. You know, got a clear outline, and we're at least 3 chapters in, but it felt weird because, like, I've not written in so many months, and now when I go back and I look at it, like, oh, you know, I can kind of see what I was trying to do here, but I need to flesh this out. You know, the word count's not where I want it to be, and I could definitely elaborate on some detail, but, you know, how do I not shoehorn it in? It was like just being severely out of practice. It's hard to find the words and where to insert them, so instead I just I picked a chapter I hadn't even started on yet. I'm like, okay, let's just go crazy, because at that point it's a matter of, let's just get, you know, clear the blockage, get things flowing again, get the machine oiled up once more, and it worked. So I'm not shooting for much, you know, 100 words minimum of a day, and then hopefully, you know, like 2.5 months of everyday writing, you got a short story, fucking kick it out the door. But it felt good. It did. It felt like I got some shit accomplished, you know. Went ahead and reworked the soundboard. We're using Voice Meter now. I know I bitched about this on the last show about hearing our own voices and whatnot, but when I went back and listened to that episode of Friday Night Smite, found out that the fucking stream hadn't captured my microphone audio, despite testing it beforehand. Like, we tested for like a solid 20 minutes. Like, okay, here's levels, you know, can we hear everybody? How's it sound on the stream? Everything looks good. As soon as I hit like start stream, fucking nothing. Can't hear anything. So I don't know. I gotta figure that out. But at the same time, we don't even use the soundboard all that much because it's been broken for so long. And even then, when we do have the soundboard, I'm not super attentive to using it because of the fact that, you know, I'm actually trying to play the game as well. And because the camera's focused on my screen, it's, you know, I gotta make sure I'm being as entertaining as possible. Shit's going on at work, and just, I don't know, I'm just tired. I need a break. But I had a vacation in November. Did I take off in November? I know I took off around Halloween. I took a week. I think. No, yeah, because I took vacation around Halloween, and then I took a personal day for my birthday. Because I had to burn it up, otherwise you lose it. Use it or lose it. So, I still got to put in vacation for that wedding. Just finish my taxes. Ugh, just too much shit. I need a day. I need a day where I can just like veg and. I guess I'll have that Saturday. Saturday we're gonna get some Denny's, hit up a Grand Slam, then go antiquing, and then the rest of the day is kind of my own. It just, like when you start living with somebody, it's like, okay, well now I kind of feel obligated. We have to have something to fill our time. You know, we have to have activities planned and I don't know. I'm not with it. Just kind of on like not quite to survival mode where like my brain shuts off and I'm just doing shit to get it done, but getting damn close. What are we at? 11 minutes? Alright. So, yeah. At least these are getting out on time now, you know, it's not the Monday night stream, but if I can't stay awake past 9 o'clock, that's not going to happen. At least we're getting something out once a week now. So, Sea of Thieves. Oh, I need water. My throat's starting to hurt. Mezzafesto's been super pumped about playing Sea of Thieves. For those not in the know, it is a title put out by Rare underneath Microsoft, because Microsoft owns them now. It's nice because you can play it on both PC and Xbox, and it's cross-platform. But essentially, you're just a pirate. It's a pirate simulator. You pick the type of pirate you want to look like, which is all random. There's no legit character creator. It's cycling through random presets, and I didn't realize this as my character ended up black because the lighting was off. Like, oh, he's got, you know, a little bit of tan, and then his face was obscured, and as soon as I get out playing, like, holy shit, I rolled a black guy. And Mezzafesto had kind of a similar issue, like, oh, I thought I just picked a guy. It turns out it was just a really ugly woman. So that could be improved upon. Like, let us actually know what we're creating. Sure, it doesn't really matter in the long scheme of things, but typically people like to customize their character as they see fit, not just like, well, randomize and hoping for the best, because what sucks about this is once your character's created, you can't delete them, you can't co-create another one, you're stuck with that character. Which is really fucking dumb. At least allow a person to delete it and then try again. But they are saying when final release rolls around, you can save up to 7 of the presets that you like, and then just kind of keep playing the slot machines and hopefully find a character that you really dig. But it's fun when you play it with friends. And essentially, it all breaks down to there's 3 factions in the game. One's the Gold Hoarders, and then you have the Merchant Alliance, and then the other one's Skull something. They weren't active during the beta, so we got in on that final beta weekend. And they all essentially just had the same shit, like they're fetch quests. There's not any like, oh, go kill 15 skeletons, or, you know, reach this point and plant a beacon at this island. It's all like the Gold Hoarders. Here's a treasure map. Go dig up this treasure and bring it back. The Merchant Alliance is like, here's a cage. Go capture these very distinct types of chickens. We won't tell you where they are, but go capture them and then bring them back. And I think the Skull guys, it's just a matter of like, oh yeah, you go kill skeletons and bring back their heads. So there's not much variety right now, and that's what's got me really, really concerned. And there's no like progression in the game itself. It all breaks down to you get gold for completing the missions, And then you can only buy like cosmetics. So you can buy, you know, shirts and jackets and hairstyles, and you can buy different skins for your weapons, and different hull paints and flags and sails and mast heads for your ships. It's all cosmetic based, and they've already said they're going to introduce microtransactions as the game comes out. So essentially you can just buy the shit outright with real money or earn it in game. At that point, without, you know, players have been conditioned to have a grind. Like, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for, here's a clear-cut objective, let me go for it, here's what I'm after. Getting a text message here. Let me check what my text messages is. Okay. Making sure it's not work like, hey, store flooded, don't bother coming in today. Which would suck because I wouldn't make any extra money, but at the same time, I'd welcome the day off. But no, so there's, like, everybody has a grind. Like, I was bitching for weeks and weeks about Warcraft, where it's, you know, is trying to finish up the Suramar quest line and then get the reputations ground up for flying. And now that I've done that, I get to play what I want with my Void Elf questing again, but I complain about that, and then I complain about no questing. Like, just find me a happy middle ground, you know? Some good progression, and Sea of Thieves just doesn't have that, and it's got me worried because they're charging like a full $60 when there's not a whole hell of a lot to do. Now, that being said, the game is fucking gorgeous. It is, like, it is one of the most beautiful games I've seen. The character models, meh, but the environments, it's got kind of like a Pixar feel to it, but the water physics and how everything looks, especially when you get underwater, it's gorgeous. Love it. It's so pretty to look at, and the sailing is super fun. Like, so you've only got 2 ships in the game. You've got the sloop, which is a 1 or 2 man vessel. You've only got 2 cannons on it, 1 sail. And then you've got the galleon, which can be a 3 or a 4 man ship. It's got 8 cannons and 3 sails, but it requires a lot of teamwork and coordination. I wasn't having a whole lot of fun playing solo on the sloop. In fact, just playing solo in general was pretty boring. But when, like, Bob and Dan would pop on, ton of fun. Like, the most fun I've had in a game in a while. Because, you know, we have this ability to fall in sync. We get a good rhythm when we work together in a game, you know, be it like Smite or Destiny. We found that rhythm in Sea of Thieves where, you know, Bob's steering the ship and Dan and I are running between, you know, adjusting the sails and manning the guns and you know, dropping the anchor and adjusting the pitch so we're catching the best possible wind. It requires a lot of teamwork, but we get it done, and it's a really good feeling. Like, the game's very rewarding in its sailing mechanics and how all that works. But then when it comes time to actually, you know, get into like combat and do PvP or fight enemies in the game, there's an issue with the sword. It's super clunky, it doesn't feel right, and there was this lock-on mechanic where as soon as you got near an enemy and you started attacking him, like, it would focus on them, and, you know, you're never attacked by just one enemy. There's a lot of them swarming you, so switching back and forth, not so good. On top of that, there's only one type of enemy, which is the skeletons, at least in the beta. They had a stream announcing what's going to be in, like, the final game, and it's not anything different than skeletons, but it's different kinds of skeletons. But the mechanics are kind of nice, where, like, there's these gold skeletons, which are harder to kill unless you hit them with, like, a bucket of water for some reason. And then the ghost skeletons, you have to shine your lantern at them. But it gets kind of boring fighting the same thing over and over again. Like, the skeletons have 3 weapons. They use a pistol, a blunderbuss, and then their sword. so you have an idea what to expect, but they're fucking crack snipers with the pistol. Like, they have no business hitting you from as far, like, they're far too accurate. Especially when trying to, like, I'm not so accurate with the weapons. And they're not complicated weapons, like, just, it doesn't handle well. So that's, like, that is what I guess you consider the end game activity. There's these forts full of skeletons, and there's a big boss skeleton that you have to kill, and if you can clear out the fort of the skeletons, and it's surrounded by towers with cannons and just loads of skeletons inside, but if you can clear them all out, there's a big treasure room, and you get a lot of booty for it, which is nice. But again, I just want a little variety. Like, I know they've teased, oh yeah, there's going to be a Kraken in the game, but 2 enemy types? Come on. Give me something a little more. You know, like, put in some NPC, like Royal Navy, that we gotta worry about. Since every other ship in the game is manned by player characters, give us, like, you know, we're all pirates, we're all outside the law. Give us a Royal Navy to fight against, you know? We could even do a similar scenario where, like, oh yeah, we gotta raid the fort, but instead of full of skeletons, it's full of this navy that fights entirely different, and, like, there's different mechanics we have to worry about when attacking one of their bases, and they might have, like, an island entirely cordoned off, or they might have a blockade going, and we have to, you know, kind of band together to break the blockade or try and sneak past it in the individual sloops. Just, like, give us a little more variety. And that's what I'm worried about, because, again, it's charging a full $60 for the game, and I don't know that it's worth it. Like, if it was just me, I wouldn't pay that. But since Dan and Bob are planning on getting it, and it's probably going to be, you know, the bulk of our content for Friday Night Smite for the next couple months, hopefully, I got to drop $60 on this thing. Now, I know those of you that are savvy are like, well, you don't have to spend the $60. You can do it with the Xbox Game Pass, which is a 14-day trial. It's included, and then it's only $10 a month after that. I'm not keen on the Xbox Game Pass. Like, if it was 10 years ago and I had a lot more time to sit and play video games, yeah, absolutely, sign me up. But now I'm having to kind of, because it's not just video games that I want to do with my time, you know, I want to learn another language, I want to write, I want to spend time with my girlfriend. It's a balancing act, so video games have to kind of take a back seat, and so I don't want to pay for a service I'm not going to fully use. And if it does get to that point where, like, oh yeah, you know, Sea of Thieves is a good investment, say I pay for just 7 months of the Game Pass, that's more than the full cost of the game as it is now. Or even if I do end up liking it, like, oh yeah, I only paid for 2 months of Game Pass and I paid $60, right away I've already paid, you know, more than I would if I just bought the game outright. So I think I'm just going to buy it and be done with it, and just, I'm going to have to look at it like as a casual game. Like, I don't play that game except for Friday nights. And it works for a game like that because, again, there's not that much to do. Give it a couple weeks and I'll have everything that I really want in the game, but it's still fun because the game's really only fun to me when I'm playing with friends. I don't like playing with fucking random strangers on the internet, and I don't like playing it by myself. So, you know, maybe for $60, because you figure even if we play it for 3 months, that's every Friday night, so for 12 Friday nights, 3 hours apiece, 36 hours worth of entertainment. It's not terrible, you know. You can look at it like, you know, I just don't eat out, you know, every day for 6 days, you know, because it's, what, $10 to eat out anywhere now? It's fucking ridiculous. So, yeah, I mean, and I dig Pirates. It's been fun. I liked Assassin's Creed Black Flag a lot. And we did play you know, Pirates of the Caribbean online together. So, and the whole Horror of Casitas, it was, you know, founded on the basis of, oh, hey, we're pirates. So, it'd be fun to to get back into like a very pirate-centric game, especially since it's been a while since we've had anything quite like that. And I do like the open world, but everything's just the same. There's not much incentive to really explore, do things on your own. It's all just a very shallow grind to get cosmetics, and then once you've got your ship decked out the way you want and your character looking the way you want, what's the point? What's the point? And that's been the biggest uproar in the subreddit itself, is everybody's like, it costs too much for too little. Especially when you compare it to games like The Witcher 3, which is just jammed to the fucking gills with content, and if it's the same price. You know, it's just as pretty, if not prettier, than Sea of Thieves, and there's a shitload of stuff to do as far as like progression, collection, and just fucking around in general. So, I don't know. I'm torn, but I know I'm gonna buy it. I'll be glad once I do have it, but no. Like $30, no problem whatsoever. Yeah, just drop that money and we've got it. But $60, that's a hard pill to swallow, and I think that's really what's gonna be biting Rare in the ass with this. And I know it's not their decision; it's Microsoft's, but it's too much for too little. And I understand, oh yeah, all the DLC is supposed to be free, but you're putting microtransactions into the game as well. Drop the price. Even 40. I'll pay 40. I mean, I know I'm going to pay 60, but it's too much. Too much. Oh, God. That was a rant and a half. What do I got else to talk about? I don't know. I was really expecting that to go longer than it did. I'm just tired. I'm so tired. I did try streaming though WoW last night, or not last night, the night before, and it had, a couple viewers, which was nice, but I gotta do something with the audio. It's driving me nuts. I want a more professional setup, but I'm too dumb to figure it out. I need to spend like a couple hours just actually testing and working with somebody else to try and get everything balanced out. And that's the thing. It's almost like I want a studio machine that handles all that, and I don't have to worry about the settings, because that's the biggest thing. I don't like having like my studio recording settings when I'm just fucking around on my computer otherwise. And so it's constantly like changing everything back and forth, and it's driving me nuts. It's getting old. And that's what broke the soundboard in the first place. Oh, fuck, we got somebody stopped in the middle. Yes, progressive. But I can't count on somebody when he's stopped in the middle of the road. So yeah, I'm going to have to hit the brakes a little harder. Fucking assholes. Ugh. Nope. Alright, well, I've got nothing else for right now. So what we'll probably do is record more on the ride home so I don't crash and die, and then also get a little extra content in here and kind of pad out this episode, because what are we at? We're at 28 minutes. That's respectable. That's a good healthy amount. That's a healthy fucking episode right there. Little premature. Can we stretch it out for another minute? We can't. We can stretch it out for another. We can do this together. So everybody turns off the podcast like, he's padding for time now. Patreon. Patreon.com/0and09. It's super important, you guys. Like, I have to spend not a lot of money, but money a month. I have to spend money a month to keep this stuff up and running. And so if you find any value whatsoever, we're trying to, it's not just for this podcast. Like, if all you listen to is this, great, but I do other shit, like Friday Night Smite. That's 3 hours of content there, and then whatever else shit I put up on the website. Head over to patreon.com/009. Pitch in $1 a month. That's all I ask. One measly dollar. You can scrounge for that in your couch cushions. And it makes all the difference. And, leaving reviews on things like iTunes and Google Play Music and stuff like that. It gets the word out. it boosts the numbers, we get more people, and, you know, it helps keep everything going, keeps the pirate ship afloat, so to speak. So, please, please, please. I don't like begging, but I don't like working a second job either. Patreon.com/0and09. And then, of course, you can always write the show, theunwashedasses@gmail.com. And, you know, let me know what you're thinking. If you agree with something I said, or you want to bring up a counterpoint, because granted, we've been doing this show for, you know, over a year and 3 months now. And I always envision it being kind of like a very slow conversation where I say something and we get replies and like, oh yeah, you know, here's what I think on X topic. And then I retort, and just a very, you know, slow two-way conversation. But you fuckers don't write in. So, I don't know. Maybe you never will. I don't know why I'm getting so, like, it's not agitated, but like anxious, like, oh, nobody gives a shit. But then you gotta remember, only a small percentage of people will actively engage with something, be it a podcast or like a video game subreddit. Like myself, I'm a lurker. I just sit and I read. I don't actively like contribute. So it's a very small percentage that actively contributes to something, and that's typically how it goes for like radio shows, podcasts. You have a very large passive audience and then a very small active audience. And I don't know. Like, the numbers have to be much, much bigger before any type of, like, active audience starts kicking in. It's a goal, but I shouldn't expect it. I should not expect it, and that's not fair to you, and I'm sorry. So, don't write the show. Nick, you know, belay that order, and nobody write the show. And we'll talk to you soon.